All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. We got the right mode on here.
Hi,
Headphones.
Bill.
Hi, how we doing? Sound check. How we sound today?
Sounds good. Looking good.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. That's nice to say. Wearing a dress shirt, going to a business meeting. I think it's time. My post-COVID period is gone. It's time to act like an adult again. And I think we're going to start doing that. Okay.
You look really professional.
Thank you. It's very nice of you to say. Okay, and we are live, and we're going to start here just in about 2 minutes. But rather than read the time around, I thought I'd just come in. I just couldn't wait. I was watching you guys as we were in the pre-setup, and excited to be here. Before we get started, now we are live streaming, so anything you see now is public, just FYI. But we do this every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Welcome to Probate Weekly. We live stream it onto YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media, and then record it. Now, if you're watching on the social medias, feel free to jump in and ask questions there. But this is designed, and I'm going to talk a little bit about more in detail. It's designed to be interactive, so we'd love to have you, if you're a real estate agent or investor or an attorney and want to participate, love to have you come to probateweekly.com, register, and come into the Zoom call. And that way you can participate live in person. We can have you on, see your face, like Daniel and Herschel and Barbara. And who else we got here? We got a bunch of other people with the cameras on. So good for you guys. We're going to start here in 2 minutes. But again, I just went a little different today. Just decided because I'm going to live life dangerously. We're going to start a little sooner and put it onto the live stream right now. So whatever, because I can do that. Let's see. Roger Lisi, welcome. He's one of the first ones in today. And we got about 1 minute to go before we go live. And let's see, it looks like all systems are running. Okie dokie. About 30 seconds, we'll launch. You guys excited? I'm excited. Dan's excited. Okay, got a thumbs up. Barbara, big smile, Barbara. You know, it doesn't cost any extra to smile, everybody, just FYI, in case you're wondering. I won't charge you any more to be on the call if you're smiling. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's go get this thing launched. Welcome to Probate Weekly. We get together every Thursday, 4 p.m., live stream this onto YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and such. I'm Bill Gross. I'm a real estate broker in Los Angeles, California. I have a national team of real estate agents looking to add to it. If you're interested in joining, let me know about that. We get together every week and talk about common things we can do together to build our business, real estate agents, investors, wholesalers, attorneys, vendors. And I really believe that the reason I started this, I'll talk a little bit, is the power of working together. So that's what we want to do. Just a quick promotion before we get started. If you're in the Los Angeles area, when we're done, we're going to end your local time around 5 o'clock. At 5:30 is the LA County Real Estate Investors Association meeting in the Culver City area. I'm going to be there. I'm a vendor. There's 250 people attend the class. Starts at 6:30. Though actually, I'm going to get there around 5:45 or so. It's the Iman Center on Motor, just south of 10 Freeway, between Palms and National. And the guest speaker tonight, a free chance to see Brad Sumrock, who really is a national expert on multifamily. So if you're there, come by and say hi. I'd love to get a chance to see you in person. And I think that's important for all of us. I'll talk more about live events down below. So we're going to do that tonight if you're in the area. And just a question for those you want as we get started. How did you find us here today? If you're a regular, what reminder do you use? Is it in your calendar, like Google Calendar? Do you get a text from us that prompts you? Is it an email from our MailChimp system, if you notice? Is it an email from Eventbrite, which you probably register through? Let them know which systems are working and which ones are not. My guess is you might get a couple, and I figure you'll unsubscribe the ones you don't like, and we can certainly do that. But which ones are effective in getting your attention, just so we know that we can make sure we keep people in attendance. And I think the more people, the more interesting the call is and the more valuable we have. And that's really true if you participate. And so I want to urge you, today's call, I'm going to do a little more talking on my own than I might normally. But that's not because that's the right approach. That's just because to add some content, I'm the guest in a sense. But I want you to ask questions, make it interactive, because that makes it more valuable for all of us. So I do this rather than a webinar version, rather than just recording it and playing it. I really believe that we'll all learn more by participating and helping each other along the way. And then again, just to point out how we got here, probateweekly.com is the website to register on Eventbrite for free. We do this every week at Thursday at 4 o'clock. And if you want to participate and carry on, the Facebook group is now called Probate Experts. My team and I are talking about changing this to Probate Weekly, the name of the group as well, because really this is meant to be an extension of our call. The idea being that you have questions and content to post that you all should be participating, posting your local groups and your content on here as well. And that way we can support each other. So that's the goal of this. I'd love to have you participate and be successful with it. Okay. People piling in here. Okay, so let's get the content today. Okay, it's on your calendar. Thank you so much. Let's see, Ron, I'm going to mute. Let me get the security set up right. And if you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to ask you just to raise your hand or put a question in the chat box, and that way I can unmute you. I would love also for you guys all to put, where are you? What city, state, where do you do business? What are you looking for? What kind of business do you look for? Thank you, Chris, on YouTube, email, and thank you, Josephine, on Facebook emails to find out where people come from and to see good friends on the social media. I appreciate you guys putting your content, your information there. Okay, so let's get into the content today, which is 7 free probate resources to build your business. Now, I looked at these words carefully, and 7 is, I counted them, is actually an 8th one if you're local. So I'll give you a little bit more if you're in local area. Probate resources. These are all resources that would apply to a real estate agent or investor, wholesaler, or attorney, which means that not only can you use them if you're one of those, but you can share these with your prospects and your customers. Meaning it's one thing for you to use a tool. It's another thing for you to use it and bring it to other customers. For example, last week, if you were on the call, I interviewed full after circle care, full after circle. After they, that's embarrassing. I had a nice meeting with them today, and I keep getting the name of the company wrong. It is, what is it? There it is. Full after circle care, FCA, full after circle care. No, full circle aftercare. Full circle aftercare. Okay, you better repeat after me. Full circle aftercare. Now that was an interesting tool, and their primary market are funeral homes and hospices. You can imagine a funeral home that does, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 funerals a month can notify them a lot of people who need help, and eventually it leads to some business. But in your case, did you look around? Do you know anybody who works in a funeral home, or do you know anybody who works at a hospice center? Or do you know anybody who knows somebody that works at a funeral home? Or do you know somebody who knows somebody who has a hospice? So I had a networking meeting today, and I put out, hey, who here has a customer that's a funeral home? Who here has a customer that's a hospice center? And I'm going to bring them the tool. So it's not just a tool from me. I bought one package myself, but the tool is powerful because I can help other people make that tool more valuable. So I'm going to show you today 7 free tools that I want to help you use, but more important than just you using them is how you can help your customers use them. And by teaching them to use them, you can do more business. So tool number 1, this called Probate Weekly. It's Thursday, 4 o'clock because you're on the call. What's the point of it? Learning and education. I go on other companies' training and coaching in the probate space because I want to learn more and be better myself. And it's all about salesmanship, which is great. There's other great sales training, how to cold call, objection handlers, technology, dialers, phone numbers, do not call lists and such. But I would tell you that they don't spend much time on how to be better, more valuable, so that when you talk to a customer, they want to work with you. That's my goal, right? I want to turn the paradigm around. I don't want to call a bunch of people and act like I'm an expert. I want to be the expert so more people want to do business with me. I'll give you guys a little hint, a project I'm working on. I'm a customer on a probate in, I don't want to say what county it is. I'm going to give it away. So I'm being called, I'm the petitioner for somebody. I'm being called, I'm being marketed as though I'm the person who has the decision on the real estate. And I'm collecting the mail. And I give the phone calls and making notes. And I'm going to share with you guys what I get over, this has been about 30 days or so since we filed, 45 days. over time. And I've made a decision to now start paying customers $1 per marketing piece. I'm going to say, a quick way for you to make some money, take a box, just put the marketing in there, and I'll collect at the end, and I'll either give you a check for whatever it is, $30, $50, or we'll donate to your favorite charity. And the first one I talked about that love that I did, and I'm doing it myself. The point of the Probate Weekly call is for you to be better, for you to be more knowledgeable about the business. So the reason I'm on this call, I'm glad to answer questions on technology and systems and phone calling, but really what I want is, how do you do a better job at helping your customers? That's the game-winning ticket for all of us. Also, if you refer people, you get referrals, meaning on this call, I don't know where you do business, but you're in one of 50 states if you're in America. We got 49 others. You're in one of 5,000 counties in America. We've got 4,999 others. And so you want to be known as the expert in your county and let us all know about that. I get questions about referrals all the time. And I'll tell you something, even though I'm on the All Leads call, I host Chad Corbett's Probate Mastery. I have this call. Together, I'm on calls with a couple hundred realtors a week. I have 2 Facebook groups that are 2,700 people. I have a hard time referring to agents when I get a referral. Now, maybe you need to have better systems and look up better and keep better notes and all that. True, but it's not as easy as it sounds when you have a lead. And you guys should all be sharing in here your contact information. More than that, you should be sharing good content that develops a relationship with you. Feel free to put in the chat box your latest video. Feel free to put in the chat box an invitation to your Facebook group. We should be all working together. Feel free to invite your attorney, your friends, your vendors, right? Let's work together. When we refer people, also on this call, we should be implementing. This isn't just about me telling you what to do. Like I said, I'm watching the mail that comes through. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning what doesn't work and why it doesn't work. I'll share with you at some point in the future what all this is about. But the purpose of this call is to implement what is working for me, and I interview other agents, what's working for them, and to share that with you. That's the purpose of the call. Now, if you wish to be entertained, great. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the purpose of this call, why I created it, was so we can all implement and get better. And then also the past episodes have other content as well. So that's why I created episodes.probateweekly.com to get the past episodes, make it easy for you to go back and look through them. And frankly, it's not so simple to create an outline of all the people we've had, the topics. I'm always working on trying to improve that. But I want you to feel free to share that information. And when people ask questions in the chat box, link to a YouTube of mine or yours. And let's help people. Let's all work together to help people. So Probate Weekly is meant to be a tool to help all of us grow together. Does that make sense? I'm not selling stuff here. I'm not selling coaching here, I don't think. I'm not selling you guys data. I'm not selling you mailing systems that may or may not work. I don't really want to say that. I'm not selling you a website. That I will say, my sister and I are working on something that I'm going to be doing for my team that we may offer to the public and have people pay because I think it's valuable. But right now, I'm not. This is just really about me building my business with you building your business and us doing it together. Does that make sense? And I've literally referred stuff out to people on this call, and people who've been here in the past and aren't here today. I've done that. So that's tool number 1 for free. I think you should be on here every week. That's why I'm here. That's why I go to the All the Leads call every week. I either watch it live or watch it on video. That's why I host Chad Corbett's. When he couldn't host it, I said, of course I'll host it because we need to get together as a group. So 3 times a week, I'm talking to, 50, 100 agents each call. I talked to about 150 real estate agents, investors, wholesalers every week because I want to be the best at this. So I want to invite you to join me on that path. Okay. Any questions on how to use tool number 1, Probate Weekly, as a tool to help you with your business? And I'm going to go back. I said about I picked the words carefully. I picked the word business, not get more deals, not get more listings, because I want you to build a business. A business is procedures, processes, people that work together to generate income, value for customers, and as a result of that, income for you. If you're doing it all yourself, it's just you're a commissioned agent working for somebody else. You're working for Keller Williams on a commission plan. It might be a good commission plan, that's all it is. But if you build a business, whether it's any company, a sustainable business. You have a marketing system that works. My emails go out without me doing them. My texts go out without me doing them. I follow up on it. I check on it because I have a business I'm building, right? I'm building relationships with vendors. I'm building relationships with real estate agents across the country. I want to challenge you all to build a business, not just to be commissioned employees for a company. That's why I picked that word. Okay, so that's tool number one, Probate Weekly. Was that helpful at all the way I laid it out? Anybody get any new ideas on how to use that? I want to make it more valuable for you. Okay, everybody's quiet today. Nobody? Bueller? No? Okay, tool number two, my YouTube channel. So on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/BillGrossEXP, we're going to be changing my branding here shortly to Bill Gross Probate, but I'll put it in the chat box in case anybody wants to go to it. If you're watching it live, great. And that helps me kind of get paid through doing this. I get a little bit, I get some YouTube juice. And it's funny, some realtors say don't have other real estate agents on your YouTube channel because it distorts the process. And I think I want to help real estate agents. I want to build my team. That's my priority. I interview mostly on their attorneys and vendors. I share all the tools I'm using. I think everything I do is on there one way or another. Services. If you like it, please like a video. And if you like the channel, please subscribe to it. But I also create content I think that you can share with your customer to help explain things. That's the goal here. Now, you can do your own, and I'm fine with that. I'm not here competing with you, but I want to work together, and I want to create content that helps you with your business. So we're in the process now of doing some shorts on different topics, and we're actually going to create content that other agents can copy and or pay for and have done by my virtual assistant for you. But more than that, I want you to think about, I'm interviewing attorneys. When I send a referral out, I tell a customer, I think this is a great attorney for you. By the way, here's a link to an interview I did with them. So before the prospect calls the attorney or the vendor, they see the interview. Well, that helps me and it helps them. And so what I'll say to you is if you have ideas or questions, usually when people ask me good questions, to be honest, I shoot a video on it, send you back the answer in a video, but put that on my channel. And that way I can answer the same question multiple times, either before anybody asks it or in response, I can send the email and say, hey, check this out. I've already answered that. Review the video and call me if you have any questions. It's meant to be a tool to help you with your business, whether it be something that you can learn from, great, or something you can share with appropriate customers or vendors to help you grow your business. That's the purpose of it. Doesn't cost you anything. Barbara shares a market piece. Thank you, Barbara. I'm going to take a look at that later. And by the way, on a Zoom call, you should always download the chat at the end of the call so you have all the links and notes and stuff and people put their contact info. So that's tool number two, my YouTube channel. Anybody here use my YouTube channel, find it helpful besides just this call? Yeah, educational a little bit. Okay. If you have an attorney in your market and you're not doing video, I'd be glad to interview them if they're not in Southern California. And I get a lot more reach for you. You're going to get the benefit of your attorney being interviewed. I'll never call that attorney and ask them for referrals. And if they're really good, I'll put them on this call and interview them on Probate Weekly. So let me help you, and use my YouTube channel to help you with that. That's number two. Number three, the Probate Experts Facebook group. Now that's going to be, I'm guessing, I still need to walk her through. Jess is on the call. We haven't discussed it yet. She's the last part of my team to review this. I'm going to get her input. But the Facebook group is meant to be a continuation of this call. Questions, requests for referrals. I'm always surprised at how bad we are at asking for help on a Facebook group or a social media group. Because we'll ask a question, you should start with the state. Because there's a big difference, especially if it's a probate question regarding legality or how to handle a case. The answer is going to vary based on what state you're in. Or referral, state and city probably, or county. But it's meant to be a place where we can share information, both questions, vendors, legal questions. I see a lot of questions going on that I don't have the time to answer. But I know if the question is a legal question in Florida, we have a couple attorneys there who answer those questions. If it's in Texas, we have a couple attorneys there who answer those questions for free. And some of you guys look for referrals, and I see the answer. Someone say, well, I need a probate attorney in this area. And there'll be like 8 responses. I think, wow, how do they have somebody like that? Because typically, that's just an attorney, not necessarily a probate focused attorney. It's a big difference. And I want you to get in the habit of asking the next question. When they say, I need an attorney, what do you need them to do? Do you need them to just file standard probate and administer it? Do you need them to litigate a probate case, fight with a sibling? Or is it a trust or guardianship or conservatorship? Those are all different attorneys. And when you get in the habit of doing that, but in the probate experts Facebook page is a great place to ask those questions. Also, feel free to invite your attorneys to come in and get referrals from there. I'm glad to have that happen. You know, I'm not there to get it all myself. I'm there to build the biggest marketplace for all of us. So again, that might pay attention, that might change, but if you join it, you'll still be a member. The goal there is to learn, is to promote yourself, any of your probate content. And this is the thing I think a lot of you miss. I joined eXp Realty 4 years ago. One reason I did was when I create content, one thing that helped me build my channel so quickly, I have over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. One thing that helped me was we have internally our own social media. It's like a Facebook program. But when I do a YouTube, I put the link internally as well as in my Facebook group. And so in addition to whoever sees it on YouTube, in addition to me sending out to my client list, you know, agents in my company click on the YouTube, YouTube goes, wow, that video is getting some play. I put it in the Facebook group and some of you guys like it, and YouTube goes, oh, wow, this YouTube business is doing pretty well. We'll show it to more people. You should feel free to put anything. What I don't want is over and over again inviting people to your website, or over and over again, the video says, hey, I'm a great real estate agent. But when you do educational content, you should share that in mine and several others, but feel free to put it in my probate group. Love to get any content, both to learn and to learn new ideas I can copy and do on my own. So feel free to share it. That's what it's meant to be. But you should be getting more YouTube juice by posting your content in our Facebook group. Okay, well, you feel free to do that and benefit from that. Okay, let me just look real quick. Am I missing any questions? I see a lot of great comments going through here and sharing, which I'm really excited to see. Have a hard time finding new construction on just interview with my YouTube channel. Okay, so Facebook user says he's had a hard time finding new construction on-site agents to interview for my YouTube channel. I'll bet that's challenging, but you know what? Facebook user, whoever that is, that doesn't have your name on this, post that in my Facebook group. See who's done it. What you might do, what I would do, if I was having a hard time, if my goal was to interview a particular niche, funeral directors, mine's attorneys primarily, and vendors. But if my goal was to get more on-site new home construction sales reps on camera, I would go outside of my market area and interview a lot to build the channel up so that when I approach somebody locally, if my channel is 10 times bigger, they're more likely to say yes, if that makes sense. So feel free to, I think that's what you should do with your interviews. And if they're probate related, that's what I'm saying, use my group to help you do that. Now, I don't want my probate group to have a lot of interviews with new construction realtors because that just doesn't really apply to us. But I would say in general, that concept, create your own group and post it there to get more Google juice, I guess is the word I would use. Okay, that's tool number 3 is the Facebook group. Any questions on how to use tool 3? Mark says he gets the free probate leads in Sacramento from the, there's a publication that publishes that online in the city of Carmichael. Great, thanks for sharing that, Mark. I think that's great. And again, share that in our Facebook group. Okay, any questions on the first 3 tools? We went over Probate Weekly, YouTube channel, and Probate Experts. Okay, not seeing any. Number 4, this is a vendor I got involved with that I think is really valuable. And it's a tool you can use to build your referral business for those of you who want to be referral based, which is Executorium. It's Executorium, Executorium, Executorium. And I'll put the link in the chat box. I interviewed the the proprietor, George Compton, he's a guy who, now this is more focused on trust. And I get asked a lot how to get more trust business. Here's a guy who had to administer trust. He found it very frustrating. And it was so frustrating to him that he went to the point of creating a tool. Oh, hey, Ben, I'm sorry. I should have figured that would be you. Ben P., colleague of mine. Anyhow, on the Executorium, he went through the pain of administering a trust and said, this is way too hard. There needs to be a place where resources can be put for executives of trusts. And I've interviewed him on the channel here a couple of times. I think it's great. I'm going to interview him again. But the listing is free for you, which gives you free Google juice. But you also should be offering that to your vendors, your attorneys, your accountants, anybody who services that group of people. Because we all wonder, well, how do I get to talk to attorneys? Well, how about just, hey, I notice you're an estate planning attorney here in wherever, Main Street, USA. I have a free tool a friend of mine's created to help promote attorneys like you called Executorium, where you list your service. I don't know how much business it's going to generate, but it can't hurt. Creates another link externally to your website. Would you mind if I put you on the site? What are they going to say to that? Who's going to say no to that? It's just one more thing you do. How about if you offer on your social media that you do it for free and call me and I'll walk you through how to do it, to offer it to attorneys, accountants, and other vendors you work with. So it's a free tool. The key there, though, is you can build out the roster, add yourself in, of course, but it's more than that. It's a tool that you should talk to attorneys, say, hey, by the way, I know you're not on that. It's free. Let me say the link. And George Compton, I've seen him interviewed. He's a great guy. It's a great program and he has big plans for it. You know, who knows where it goes, but it's free. So I would definitely use that, but more than that, use that tool to help build my business. That's tool number 4, Executorium. Okay, look at this. Mark Perdoso throwing down the free info he's competing with me, who has more free tools, and he is giving free data in Carmichael and then now free in Marin County. Very good. Thank you, Mark. And hey, Ben P., nice to see you on the call. I should have recognized that was you. But now you're looks like you moved from Facebook to YouTube. Okay, good. Okay, next free tool. Where am I at now? Number 5, Probate.cash. I don't care if you sign up and want to be an affiliate with me or not. I care that you learn how to use a tool to help your customers. So if you want to do it at scale, I walk you through a program I created that I recorded on demand, and I charge $199 for 4 hours of video. But you don't have to pay for it. Just come on and watch the YouTubes on the YouTube channel. Sign up for the program for free. You get a link to it. Learn how to use Probate Advanced Cash to help your customers who need money. They need money to hire an attorney for evictions, fences, insurance, property taxes. Help your attorneys convert more business. For example, in California, attorney on a $1 million probate is limited to $23,000 legal fees, not counting costs like filing fees and publication costs. Costs can be another couple $1,000s between publication, court filing fees, service fees, and things like that. Now, most attorneys don't charge the full amount, but many do. But they'll say, you have to pay me to the very end. But somebody has to come up with a cost up front, a couple $1,000s. Sometimes the attorneys front it, but if they get the customer to get in advance, now it's paid for. I think it's powerful for the customer because now they can choose the attorney not based on who says, I'll get paid at the end. Attorneys can't get paid their legal fees until the final disbursement. They can collect fees and put them in a trust fund. But why make the customer worry about that? Tell the customer you don't have to worry about it. You can advance out of your inheritance that will cover your attorney's fees. So it's a very powerful tool. You should learn about it. I host a weekly program at 8:30 a.m. Wednesdays, Probate.cash. Frankly, you can sign up for it. You'll get a link to a past episode or see it on my YouTube channel and learn all about it. Or if you have a customer that can benefit from it, call me and I'll put the deal together for you. Now, if you go through the training and I approve you, you'll actually get a commission each time you actually use the program. So that's getprobate.cash is the website, getprobate.cash. And that is, I know, and it sounds funny but that is the actual domain name. There's a .cash type, getprobate.cash. Okay, that is tool number 5. Questions so far? Questions, comments? Ben says he's calling attorneys to connect once a week. Very good. I think, though, there's a difference in calling attorneys cold. Hey, I'm Bill Gross. I see you filed a probate. Can you give me your listing? That's one phone call. And there's another phone call, which is, hi, I see you're active in the probate space. I have some tools that can help you get more business and better serve your customers. I'd love to find out what you're doing to see where I can help you. Do you have a minute? What's the biggest challenge you're facing? If their challenge is, my customers don't have cash, probate advance. If the challenge is, I'm just trying to get more business, Executorium, promoting them via video, invite them on my YouTube channel, invite them on Probate Weekly as a guest. I'd be glad to talk to them. So rather than just cold call and ask for them to give you something, I'm offering you a system to help give them value. Okay, that's number 5. Number 6, free tool. ProbateMastery.com is Chad Corbett's coaching program, ProbateMastery.com. And on his program, I guess I should probably just put the link on here, ProbateMastery.com. On the front page of his program, I'll put the link in the chat and I'll share it real quick, step 1 is a lifestyle and career design. This is free. Take the free program. I forget how many hours it is. But the idea is to create a business that's consistent with your life. So many realtors that I work with look at them as 2 separate things rather than designing the business that fits you and what you want to accomplish. And I believe this is the best first step. Now, I took his course 4 years ago when I started. It was a different format. But that's what got me looking to probate, not as a cold calling opportunity, not as a different, as an alternative to expired listings, not as an alternative to FSBOs, but as a way for me to create value in the marketplace that I would get paid for by helping people. And the first step was the Lifestyle and Career Design course. So I really believe in it. He's really been, for me, my mentor and coach in that area of my life, and just set my career, just reset it 4 years ago, and I've been on autopilot ever since. Now, I work every day, but it's just been a fabulous experience, and it started with that. That's free for you to join, and that's tool number 6, Probate Mastery's Lifestyle and Career Design course. Now, if you took Probate Mastery, you can come on the weekly calls I do on Tuesday. I host for Chad. Love to have you there. And there's other things that go with that. And you might want to take his course. You might want to get certified. Great. He has an earn program, how to get referrals from attorneys. If you want to take that, great. I think those are good investments if you're in a place in your business where you're investing in those kinds of things. But for free, you have my probate coach, I think, point in the direction of why probate business would be a great way for you to make business. And then importantly, find your niche. And I get this all the time. Well, I don't know, how do I find my niche? Every other company is just saying cold call petitioners or cold call attorneys. And I'm saying not to do that. It's the one thing you should not do. What you should do is clarify your value proposition and offer that to people. And I think the lifestyle program is a way to start that. Number 7. So number 7 is, in any business, there's a math formula you have to think about, which is your effort. So imagine you work 8 hours a day. Your effort's 8 hours a day, times the leverage you get from the tools you use. So imagine if you're a farmer. In the old days, they had, I think, like horses or ox that would plow the field. You had like this implement behind the ox, and you'd have to hold it all day and walk around in the heat. I never did it, but you see it in movies. And then one day they had machines that did it. So that technology doubled his productivity, doubled their efficiency. So you take your effort times your using of tools, technology. So if you just use the phone 8 hours a day, you can only talk to people you can talk to on the phone. But if you use technology, you might be able to talk to twice as many people. I'm talking now to, there's 54 people on the call. One's me and one's my assistant. So I'm talking to 52 people, plus people watching on the live stream right now. We've got 18 people on YouTube. We've got people on Facebook, LinkedIn, plus people are going to watch it over the next week or 2 or 3. So by the time I'm done, I'll have talked to over 200-300 people. That's leveraging my time. Same 8 hours. You see that? But I'm using the tool to leverage my work, the replays, and then times the number of people you talk to. So your business, the effect you can create, the value you create in the marketplace is your effort times the tools you use and times the number of people you leverage it over. Now, if you are continually talking out loud and not keeping track of who you're talking to, you can rebuild your audience every week. But if you keep all the names, addresses, phone numbers, and emails and put them in a system, you can send them text reminders, emails, and other programs, and you build an audience. That's building a network. Now, I'm simplifying, but when people say to me, Bill, how do you have the largest probate real estate podcast in the United States? I almost, it's like, I have so many things that I do, so many pieces of that puzzle. I use Meetup, I use Eventbrite, I use a texting system, I use email, I email out of Eventbrite, I use Google Calendars, I use a lot of things, relationships. But again, it's my effort, 8 hours times the technology times the number of people. And the more I can kind of keep people in that network and grow it over time, then my business grows. I get more referrals coming in. And my business today is really me sharing value with my prospects and people calling me saying, hey, Bill, I have a problem. Can you help me? And that's my day all day long, is solving those problems, not cold calling outbound. I did that for a while. I think when you start your business, you need to do some certain outbound calling. I do outbound work in that I go to an event about once a week. Tonight I'm going to the LAProbate event. Last week I hosted my own networking event. So networking is the combination of your activity with technology, with tools. So how do you do all that? The coach that I use when I started, I used Chad Corbett, and I built my business based on lead generation, going to court every day for 3 or 4 hours a day. Actually, exactly 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. It was great until COVID shut it down. Now, if I was starting out, I would do that again if I was in a different county. LA County, we are still kind of shut down. I don't want to get a whole political discussion, but the population at court is about 10% of what it was 3 years ago because you can video and the court got more efficient. So it's not as productive. In some counties, the population is back to the same. So I would definitely say that if I was in a different county, Riverside, San Bernardino, more rural counties, I would go to court. Maybe not every day, but I would go to court whenever there's probate stuff going on to meet people. But I can't. So I had to refocus and go online. The coach I used was Casey Eberhardt, and he has a free program called Networking Riches. He does it about once a month. It's a 2-day program. Now, to be clear, it's a 2-day program to invite you to his coaching program. But in those 2 days, he goes over all the fundamentals: website, landing pages, email databases, social media, and how they fit together. And so I've taken that tool to try to encourage all of my team members and all of my clients, all my small business customers, all my attorneys, accountants, because I believe it'll help their business. And I don't pay for them to take his coaching. I figure they'll learn and they'll appreciate it or not. It's up to them. I say the same to you guys all. I think all of you would be better at your business if you learn those fundamentals. And I think Casey does a great job on that free program. And I put a link in there. It's free. Now, if you use my link, I get credit for it. And Casey's my coach. So I'd appreciate supporting me if you're going to go there to use that link. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it. But in that program, you're going to learn about how to use email. That's the program where I will share with you guys when I was just devastated with the shutdown because of the court. And I realized I had to go to online video, and I had done no video at that time. I had a weekly conference call I hosted on probate. This call started as a conference call 4 years ago. I wasn't doing any video. And maybe I might have gone to a podcast format. Casey's going to challenge all of us in this group to go on video. And he saw the future, how powerful video is. And it's still untapped for most of you. And he challenged me personally on that call to just shoot something every day for 30 days. So it didn't matter what it was, just do something. And it's scary. And for those of you I'm talking to, I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, that's scary to do video. I don't want to do that. That was me. I didn't want to. I have a face for radio. I have a face for podcasts. But I will tell you, it transformed my business. I get paid by YouTube. Not a lot. I get paid by them every month. I've sold coaching and affiliate programs through my YouTube channel. But more importantly, I've had customers say, I saw your YouTube. I'd like to have you list my property. Like I even had to talk to them about who I am. I've had agents from this call and other places call me and say, Bill, can you send me your pre-appointment package? Just say, I only have one. Because really, either they want to list with me or they don't, and I'm fine either way. Video is the key to that. And I saw today a presentation by a competing company talking about they're going to offer you posting on different blog posts and posting on social media, which is great, but I think video is way more powerful. And there's tools I'm using right now. This Zoom call, I'm rebroadcasting with a tool called Restream and putting it on 8 different social media channels at the same time. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying what I'm doing is working for me. I'll share with you. One day I went to the market. I'm a traditional husband. That's just how I grew up. And that's our marriage. Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that's what worked for us. I never went to the market during work hours. I never would. I worked during work hours. My wife needed me to go to the market. I'd go after hours or on the weekend. Unfortunately, my wife's had major medical issues, and I've become the shopper of the family. And while I use Instacart and delivery services, I had to go to the market one day about 10 o'clock. I ran into a realtor who, he's the guy you see at all the meetings with all the free food, but never does any business. And I told the story before. He said to me, hey, Bill, can I share something with you? I said, yeah. He said, you send out way too many emails. I thought about it for a second. I said, no, you misunderstand. I send out too many emails for you because you and I are never going to do any business together. I send out a lot of emails, but I get a lot of business from the emails. I had email responses today from past clients and prospects and clients. Get them all the time. So Networking Riches is where I learned this. Networking Riches gave me the confidence to look for my prospects. From that, I went to Grant Cardone's program in Florida near Miami. He talked about how you had to post social media like 7 to 10 times a day. And how the hell do I do that? I felt like I was doing one a day was all I could manage. Well, the answer is there's technology and systems and delegation techniques. That's what Networking Riches talks about. How to work with a virtual assistant. I know a lot of companies who offer that, but how do you work with a virtual assistant? In Networking Riches, he's brought in his vendor, and we've interviewed them and talked to them about how do you delegate effectively? How do people delegate ineffectively? And we need to change. And that's a tool that's invaluable. It's really, about 10 hours of training. And he moved it from a weekday focus to a offering to a weekend offering. He's kind of gone back and forth to give people both chances. So sign up. If you don't go this time, go next time. But Networking Riches is an amazing opportunity to learn the basic fundamentals of building your business to leverage tools and to leverage your database. And it's free. Okay. Those are the 7 free tools I offered. I'm going to give those of you in LA a couple free tools bonus. Tonight, LAREIC.com is the local LA County Real Estate Investors Association event. 6:30 to 8:30. I'm a vendor there. Brad Sumrock is the speaker on multifamily investing. I just moved the date. On the first Wednesday of the month, I host a realtor networking event, Brew Real Estate. I'll put the link on that in the chat box. Let's see here. Can I do that? Edit and copy link URL. Yes. Set up for that. Basically, it's this huge beer bar in mid Wilshire. If you're a realtor and you sign up or you show up with a business card, I'll buy your free beer. And they brew right there. It's great beer. Have one on me and network. But we have lenders, insurance companies, vendors. Just my own marketing, I get about 20 people a month to show up for free. And I'm buying half of the people their beer. Love to have you come. Love to have you bring people with you, help you build your business there if that's a benefit to you. And then the last thing I want to offer for free for local, the first Friday of the month in Diamond Bar, I host Agents Helping Agents. And we there work together. We get about 40 agents together and work on building our business, referrals, common projects. In fact, we had Casey come in to talk about networking riches to work together to cross network each other's leads. And in full disclosure, about a quarter of the people there are my team, and another quarter are with EXP but aren't related to me, and half the people aren't in my company at all. It's not a company thing. It's not a recruiting thing. We don't talk about my company. I just try to get everybody I can to come there because I think it's valuable. Because I'm there to help everybody, and I want to get business as well. That's why I'm there. So if you're local in Los Angeles, there are 3 things that are free: the LAProbate event tonight, the Brew event the first Wednesday of the month, and the Agents Helping Agents first Friday of the month. Okay, I gave you guys 7 free tools, I hope. Did you get 7 free tools? Are any of them valuable? Let's see here. Any other questions in the chat box, comments? Somebody's putting my notes in the talk here. Who's that? Great, thank you for doing that. Just LA people, good, thanks. Questions, comments? I don't see any hands up. I think I've covered everything in the chat box. Anybody have? Here's a hand up, Barbara. Let's get you in here. Hey, Barbara, what's going on? Let's get unmuted too. Well, you're muted.
Great information, Bill. Thank you so much for sharing. Question: you on item number 6 that you went over, you talked about a gentleman and how much you got out of his mentorship, and there was a site where we could go and sign up. Where is that info?
Sure, Probate Mastery.
Okay.
ProbateMastery.com. I put the link in the chat box.
Thank you.
And the program he has on that webpage, on the front page of his program, he has 3 different programs. The first one's free, which is the Lifestyle and Career Design Program. And this is really his focus now. He's kind of moved out of coaching on probate and gotten into full-time coaching people on their lifestyle and moving people into creating wealth and investing. But I think the key thing is, unlike some of the other programs that are just about how to get leads and how to get listings, and there's nothing wrong with that, but to me, that's a very limited goal. This is about, well, what if you built a business that made you feel great about what you did every day? Personally, I tell my daughter what I do. I'm very proud. And my grandson growing up, this is what grandpa does. I help people with wealth. I help people who are in trouble legally and need some assistance. I help advance people money who don't have anything. So that makes me feel good. Now, it may not make you feel good. You might be the probate nurse who want to work with nurses in hospice. Good for you. You might want to be the probate accountant and work with accountants specifically. Good for you. You need to find, you do you, I'm doing me. But what I want to challenge you is, I've done me. This is the tool I use to help me get there. And I think it will help you find your way as well. Make sense? That's right. And where in SoCal are you?
I'm in Ventura County.
So the program I mentioned that's on tonight was last night in Oxnard. It's a free program to go to. Do you ever go to that? The Ventura County Realtor Association?
I do. Unfortunately, I had a listing appointment last night, so I wasn't able to go. But usually,
that's a shame.
I started going about 4 months ago, and I've been going every month. So,
well, you should have that excuse every day. That's a great excuse to have you at a listing appointment. Yeah. So good for you, Barbara. Thank you so much for joining in. Daniel, let's get you unmuted and bring you in here real quick. Let's see. Ask you to mute. And
quick question: how do you network with? Do you recommend networking with funeral homes or?
Well, I say network with whoever you think you create value for and you want to work with.
Perfect.
So, for example, in my life, I came across a lady who was a business development sales rep for the largest funeral home in Southern California is Forest Lawn. And I actually went to a presentation she did on helping families plan for pre-need, which is something that my wife and I need to deal with. Our parents, all 4, are buried in one of their places, and so we want to Mount Sinai, and so we want to, plan and I won't get too into all that, but I enjoyed it. I would love to. Now, I think like anything else, when you do it once, you're never good at it. When you do it 10 times, you get better at it. And so, if my father had owned a funeral home or I'd been in that business myself, what a natural niche to come from being of service. And one of the tools would be last week's full after circle, FAC, full after circle. What a great tool to bring to them to offer to their clients. Either you pay for it or they pay for it. If they give out 10 packages at $200 each, might cost you $2,000, but you got one listing for every 10 packages, that'd be like the best system in the world for generating business. So I wouldn't do it unless you enjoy it and unless you feel like you create value with that. But if you do, 100% I would. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I talked to that Full Circle Aftercare, and they have a really great program. I didn't even know you could legally help people with like Medicaid and with those kind of aspects. And they offer a program like you could do it. They charge $500 on the website, but you can get it for $200, like white labeled to your program. So
Right.
if you offer this full service concierge program to families going through probate, you can go even further, free up time on your aspect, spend $200. I was spending like about $1,000 a month on mailers, and now I've just switched to complete business to business referrals. So I'm saving so much money instead of buying leads and spending the time doing envelopes. It just makes sense to me. My next question to you, actually, I forget, but thank you. Just the funeral home was really interesting. Have you incorporated this Full Circle Aftercare into your program yet? Or are you still kind of figuring it out? I know you do a lot.
Well, I do a lot. I had met Matthew. I think it's a great program. I had an onboarding call today with one of the staff members to get approved. I bought my first package to give to a customer, and I'm trying to learn it and figure out how to use it. And literally, I'm reaching out to my network to say, who do I know in this space? I'm going to go back to Forest Lawn. They may be a customer already or use something similar. So I'm sure, like all businesses, let me back up. Grant Cardone says, even if you have by far the best product or service, and even if you gave it away for free, it's 10 times harder to sell it than you would ever imagine. Now, when he said that, you go, why do you have to say that? Because just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it's hard. Just like get ready that what you think you're doing is sufficient. So, calling one contact isn't going to get you business, and calling 10 might not, but if every day you reach out to your entire marketplace and reach out to every funeral home and hospice and offered something that you believed was of value, eventually you're going to build a business. That's just how life works. But you got to put the work in. So to answer your question, I'm looking into that. I think that's a really neat piece that fits in well with what I do in my style and my own life. And again, in my case, I've lost my parents and my wife's parents. And we're in an age now where we need to plan ahead. We're Jewish, and so we tend to kind of congregate together in that area. Some churches do the same thing. I won't get too morbid about it, but I just want to say, so it's something that I'm working into, and I want to take a look at how do I, and I think when you've lost parents, it changes you. And then it gives me the ability to help people who've lost their parents at a different level. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity, and I'm definitely working on it as fast as I can.
And so I talked to them, and they said they get most of their leads from online content marketing. Like they give a lot of their information away for free, just like they talked about
Right.
Social Security. Like I know that, let's say the husband makes more money than the wife did throughout his life, and he has a higher Social Security, but the husband passes away. The wife can apply to have and receive the larger not life insurance, Social Security. And so a lot of people just don't know these things. And that's what Full Circle Aftercare does, is they really help people and hold their hand. Now, my question to them was, like, what happens if someone contacts me, like, someone contacts me with cash advance, I can refer it to you. I can refer it to like all the leads website I have. But I was like, well, let's say I wanted to offer this concierge program to a family, even if they don't have real estate, I just want to provide good service, fix people's problems. I'm like, I don't take payment. All my money goes through the title agency, then goes through my broker, then goes into my bank account, but they even have a way to process your payment. So if you want to offer it to them at, like, let's say, they will take the payment for you as well. They're just a great company. I have to say, I was really impressed. That was like one of the best content episodes you've ever had. So just want to say thank you for bringing them on, because that was really, it kind of changing my company and how I'm approaching it as well.
I'll just say that I'm really working on how to come back to them with some opportunity for more business. So for example, if you heard on the interview I did with them, he pointed out that they have a problem in that they have all these leads and they don't really know what to do with them, like realtors, let's say. Somebody solved the problem for them in Florida. Over time, they trusted her. I'd love to be the person in California, but to be honest, I'd love to be the person nationally. And that means me giving up a lot of the chunk of the commissions, even in California, to get started, which I'm willing to do because I have a pretty big network. So my game plan, to be honest, is to use my different channels here to build a network so that I can say to them, hey, I have more realtors who are committed to probate, who've learned the business, who come from the right position. If you listen to Matthew, that's really important to them, is that not just he makes money on the referral, but that the person servicing the customer is coming from the heart. And I believe that's where Chad Corbett's training starts. That's why I'm promoting the Lifestyle and Career Design Program. And my goal is to, how would I create a national network? If I took on the call right now, we have 50 something people and watching on social media, there are 50. How would I take the 100 and I have 4,000 in my database and organize them in a way, but some of them aren't good people. Some of you really aren't ready to take on those leads. Some of you would be great. And how do we find them and how do we present that to them? So that's my game plan, is I'm working on trying to be that national provider to them and other vendors, and then bring you guys in as my army behind me to service them.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
So I have a lead. It's a soft lead. They can't legally sell the house because the mom is the only one that's left. She's on like late stage support, so she's on Medicaid. But they didn't put their house on a medical trust. There's like that Medicaid medical trust that you can do for families, but they didn't plan ahead. But she can't rent out the property because then that's income, and then she won't probably qualify for Medicaid. If she sells the house, then she will forfeit her Medicaid benefits because she just took that kind of money. Is there a solution that I didn't know what to tell her. I was like, I'm going to meet with my probate attorney that I just started connecting with, but have you ever run across anything like that before?
Yeah, and there are attorneys who specialize in that. I would find that attorney. There are attorneys who specialize in creating the kind of trusts that work those situations out. And I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. Remind me, Daniel, what state are you in?
Texas.
I was gonna say, I thought you were in Texas. Yeah, and I don't know the laws in Texas versus California, but I would definitely call. And there are specific attorneys who work that particular problem, and that you should consult. And the difference of that, it can be tens of thousands of dollars in their pocket.
Yeah, no, it's a huge difference. But thank you so much.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll come up against the last couple of minutes. Any other questions, comments? Some people jumping off. Thanks. Albert Robles asking about Mark Pedroza. You guys need to kind of connect together to make that happen, I think. Or go into the Facebook group and reach each other that way. But love to have, I know Mark's on my Facebook group as well. You guys seem to really enjoy the full after circle care, full aftercare. I don't know why I'm just blanking on this over and over again. Full circle aftercare, FCAC, full circle aftercare. I think the leg guys really seem to appreciate that, and I do too. I think it's a tremendous opportunity and I think not just for all of us individually, but I think more importantly for us as a group, at the exclusion of all the other agents. I think that those of us who are committed to doing the right thing. I think when you're willing, it's amazing how many realtors are anonymous because they do a lousy job and they should be scared to share their phone number and email. I'm sure I have more people in my database than most of them do. My phone number is everywhere. I would plaster it on the internet if I could, anywhere, phone and email. I have nothing to be ashamed about. And I think for those of you who want to hold yourself to that standard, working together, we can really service a company and other customers like them and get that value. So, okay, full circle aftercare. Yeah, I know, Jess. I need to say it over and over again. It's full circle aftercare. Do we get a recording? I had a bad signal. Yeah, Ev, for anybody here, all of our episodes are on episodes.probateweekly.com, episodes.probateweekly.com. If you want to register, come on the Zoom call. I'd love to have you just register at probateweekly.com and you can come on the Zoom call. Otherwise, watch it on YouTube or Facebook or your favorite social media, and we connect there as well. I think I'm up to date with all the questions, and we're almost at the top of the hour, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm Bill Gross. We do this every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, probatemastery.com. And love to help you. I'm on social media at Bill Gross EXP. Feel free to reach out, call, text, or email me. I got nothing to hide. In the chat box is a link to the video. On every Zoom call, you guys should hit on the bottom of the chat box, download your the chat. You want to save the chat to your local computer. That way you have all the people's names, phone numbers, and stuff that they save there. Make it a great week, everybody. If I can help you, reach out, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.